course. You have to start with a cough. Hello, 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 everybody. It's time once again for more artworks to do on Eldritchrune. And while I'm still working on finishing the garrison scene, I'm not quite at the point where I can like show what's going on with that since it's almost done. So today we're going to be working on some ending stuff. I have got so many backgrounds that I need to clean up. So that's what we're doing, background cleanup. It's going to be so much debris. You ready for hours of debris? Heck yeah, here come the hours of debris. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. I hope that you are doing well. At least better than everybody in this part anyway. So much to do. Ugh. The ending still looms over me with how much work is involved. But I will poke at it bit by bit. Ugh, I can't believe I have one more week left before I'm back at work. On one hand, no, less time to do stuff. On the other hand, yay, paycheck. Because it'd be nice to have that again. Not just dip into my savings constantly. I'm glad that you are doing well. I am doing okay, and I have the AC on, but it's not going right now. Yep, probably doing a lot better than folks in the comic. I think most of us are. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to put down a guide at some point. Ugh, I feel like my chair is not padded quite correctly. Ugh. Someday I'll find the perfect chair for me. Not today. Also still trying to expand my playlist of songs. I think it's at like 1,300 or so right now. Whew. Air condition. I think you need to kick in. Probably thinks it's too cold to actually try and make it colder. One of those auto things. Which two characters? It can be so hard to judge height stuff sometimes. Something I have to think about a lot for my job. Ah, okay. I see, I see. Dark night. Okay, try and put down a 2-point thing here. I wonder, it should probably go below that. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it kicks in. Okay. Seems close-ish enough. Oh, I do like this remix. Yeah, the reason why I do a lot of backgrounds in not quite what I wanted. I do a lot of backgrounds in Storyboard Pros because it has really nice perspective tools that make things go a little faster. And it's nice when we can make things go a little faster. I mostly just think of the Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, which I read like 10 million years ago and it didn't get that far into it. 10 million years ago. At least it feels that way. Sheesh. The reverse happened? Oh, I see. Not the other way around. Oh, wait a second. We should do the windows here. No! Incorrect. Who knows if they even had windows like this back then? Oh well, it's not historically accurate. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Hope that you're doing well on this Sunday. I'm doing okay. Well, I probably shouldn't have had that coffee drink before bed because I woke up like pretty early, like, whoa, I'm awake. Whoa, I wonder why that is. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to this cozy little house. I'm sure we will be drawing mostly this cozy little house and not piles of debris for the next 30 pages. Nothing bad will happen here. With this suspiciously nice kept looking house. That is not the church. Not at all. Internet stuff. That's always a risk with a hotel's Wi-Fi. It's like, here's free Wi-Fi. Will it work? Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't usually worry too much about Wi-Fi stuff because I don't use Wi-Fi for my computer. I just use a LAN cable. I'm in one singular spot. Use it for the phone and stuff like that, but when I'm just on my computer, that is hooked up directly. So if the internet's not working, I know it's a bigger problem than the Wi-Fi. Definitely don't think I could stream very well if I didn't have that. No! I think the one time the LAN cable wasn't working, I did try to stream with Wi-Fi. It like cut out 10 times during it. It was pretty bad. I'm like, how do you do this without a LAN cable? I cannot depend on it, Captain. Stay with us now. You gotta see this beautiful house get destroyed. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Because of OBS, oh, that's insult to injury. OBS should not be doing that. It's like, no, you were the chosen one or whatever. It's your job to run things. I mean, it's internet's job to be internet, so. Who even knows? Then again, I'm pretty sure OBS has messed me up once or twice, knock on wood. Oof. Oh my goodness. I still got so much of my inbox and Tumblr to get through. I got like a bunch of like questions I have to like get I think about these at all or whatever, and like I just haven't had time to get through them all. I'm getting a bunch of Desriel asks, and I'm like, I think it's neat, but I haven't thought about it that much. I would have to think about it more. Especially since we're still trying to find out, you know, what they were both like. You got little hints here and there. But nothing super solid. More stuff on fire. What is it? We don't know. Fire's always fun to draw, though. You're just like, what, all over the place. But yes, I want to see a fabulous. Now I'm doing stuff in this scene for parts 8, 9, and 10. So I'm kind of like, if I do like a whole bunch of stuff in parts 8 and 9, how much of it can I reuse for 10? I'm not sure. I would like to be able to use a lot of it if I can. Save myself some time, but I still need to do like the roughs for part 10. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Hope that your morning is going well. Again, better than this, than Toriel and Asgore's morning is going to go. But I don't imagine that would be hard. And yeah, I'm thinking one of the comics I was going to do, I might make it into a animatic instead, so I would need some voices and music for it. So I'm going to ask around about that. Yeah, I never finished the series either. We looked at it a long time ago, so I don't remember anything that happens in it, really. Long time ago. In a galaxy far away. Naboo was under an attack. Or rather, my blue sky is under attack by all the sexy Wattos. I'm like, that's a lot of sexy Wattos on my timeline, okay. I will not complain. Yeah, I'm so out of date with whatever anime's happening now. Yeah, and Triple X Holic that too. Was also going at the same time. Okay, that's one panel. Now we're going inside. And we can see all these extra lines all over the place because Photoshop's like, how do you do these lines? It's much easier to do this in Storyboard Pro, obviously. I've heard that one is good. I haven't seen it. Suppose I should probably make more use of my dang old Netflix account, considering how much that costs. Eraser. Don't be so large. Ooh, in Mexico. Where are you going in Mexico? I haven't been there in a long time. Oh yeah, I've heard that that one's good as well. Oh, there goes the AC kicking in. It's like, oh, you're gonna listen to a good song? Oh. My phone's popping. Oh, nice. Let's do family visits. Ooh, I probably will not see my family for a while. I'm so popular today? Whoa. I don't know about that. But hello, hello. Thank you for coming. Grief, I still need to turn off the early ads too, don't I? But I hope your day is going well. While I am working away on these backgrounds, they gotta get done. Oh. No, that's just the one of my real life friend group chats. It's just a group chat for the friend group. Which I will check later. See, friend group is not super huge. I don't know about popular, but that's okay. I don't need a giant friend group. Just nice to have real life friends to hang out with. Bearded vultures, those are great. Bearded vultures have a great look. You can really like, I don't know, just like the look and the colors for them, I think can translate into dragons really well. They got cool eyes and cool coloring. They're cool. Honestly, there's just like so much stuff in nature you could like turn into a fantasy creature and it would look cool because nature's got so much cool stuff in there. Thank you, nature, for being cool. Ah. I need to catch up at some point and see if there's evolved for any more progress with Psyculturist playthrough of Eldritchrune, because that's been really fun to watch. And that's been entertaining. Okay, let's pull out another one of these. Otherwise, I got my usual video list to catch up on. Did that work out okay? Nope. Need to be further away. I don't know if I like that still. I don't know about that. Sometimes you like rough out some perspective and it's like, well, this looks like a little nicer than it actually works out to be, but that's okay. No, that's not okay. I think I know what the problem is. My horizon line is in the incorrect place. I gotta move that crap. That's better. Horizon line was too low. No. Nobody's gonna actually see that, though, is the problem. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Fine. Most important part's over here, anyway. Me fiddling with the heckin' perspective lines here. Hello, thank you for coming. Ooh, nice. It's always super fun to be like, yes, introduce a new person to the coolness. I love chapter 4. It's so good. Still probably my favorite. Just with the music and the aesthetics and the Susies. Why am I taking this down to 7? It does not need to be that small. Also, I'm excited for a new newsletter. Sometime next month. We'll hear more on chapter 5. I'm just sad that I have no ideas for what to do for Undertale's anniversary. I don't have any art ideas. It's all been stuff I want to do for Deltarune, and I can't force it. I have to be like, sorry guys, I have no anniversary art ideas. I'm sorry. Like, at least with 8, I felt like I had a cool idea for that, but I got no ideas for the 10th, and I'm sad because it's the 10th. There's only going to be one of them. But chapters 3 and 4 ate my brain, and I've got Eldritchrune to do. I also wonder, even though they're going to talk about chapter 5, I wonder if Toby's ever going to mention, oh yeah, and also chapter 6 and 7 things are happening with that, because that's gotten no mentions at all so far. Please give us some more info of some kind. Well, we'll see. It's also a matter of, like, will I have time to do anything? Because, again, I have one more week before I'm back at work. And especially, like, start of a new, like, season, series, whatever. You're still trying to, like, work out, you know, the flow of things. So I will probably have even less time than usual. Oh yeah, I read Jurassic Park and The Lost World, like, as a kid. That was probably way above, like, my reading level for a couple of things. But, yeah, I read those as a kid. They were books. They're Michael Crichton books. They were books well before they were movies. The movie was, in fact, an adaptation of the book. And I liked the book okay, at least as a kid. I read it a couple times. The first Jurassic Park movie did not suck. The first Jurassic Park is a classic. I mean, you can say what you want about the sequels. Those are a bit more questionable. But I will not have anybody be besmirching the good name of the original 1995 Jurassic Park. It was not. You are wrong. Wrong. Incorrect. That was a classic. That was a big deal at the time. Yeah, there's a lot of changes from the book. But as an adaptation, It done really well. It sparked a whole new generation of kids interested. Okay, you are confused. What do you mean, Chris Pratt? I'm not talking about Jurassic World. I'm talking about Jurassic Park, the movie that came out in 1995 when I was a kid. Like, Jurassic World, yeah, Jurassic World sucks ass. I'm not talking about Jurassic World. I'm talking about Jurassic Park. You have seen Jurassic Park, right? Like, the dinosaurs are outdated by now because, again, this came out in 1995. They had not figured out, for example, that feathers were really on a lot of theropods, for example. So that's why the raptors look like lizardy. But based on the information that we had about dinosaurs at the time, it was very scientifically accurate compared to most dinosaur movies. Yes, but please tell me you've seen 1995's original Jurassic Park film. Like, sequels, whatever. Those are, I haven't even seen the new Jurassic World movies. Don't really care about them. But the original 1995 Jurassic Park, there's a reason it got a bajillion sequels. It was a really good movie. And probably, okay, you've seen the original. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not talking about Jurassic World. Who cares about Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt can go fall in a hole. I don't care. Like, no. But do not besmirch the good name of 1995's Jurassic Park. Because that was, again, there's a reason that we're still getting heckin' sequels for that movie. Even though they're long past the point of, working very well as a franchise. Mostly because our understanding of dinosaurs has changed during that time, and part of what made Jurassic Park very cool was that, again, it was, at the time, what was considered a most accurate... Okay, I did not see Jurassic World was a stinker. I thought we were talking... Because I was talking about Jurassic Park. I did not hear about Jurassic World. Okay, I must have missed that. Oh no, I'm sad that he's suffering from burnout. I need to check out his newest video and stuff like that. Was he streaming a lot? I didn't really watch his streams. I just watched I like Down the Rabbit Hole because I like how well researched those videos were, but is he gonna take a break from those for a while? Oh yeah, the Lost World, the sequel is very different from the book. Yeah, those two are very different. Oh, he was streaming alongside Down the Rabbit Hole. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Because Down the Rabbit Hole is like really research intensive kind of thing. And also, yeah, the Lost, not Jurassic World, but the Lost World, which was the original Jurassic Park sequel, which was also a book, because the book was very popular. Yeah, those two are pretty different. Oh, okay. I see. I'm glad he's no longer in burnout, because that sucks. And, speaking of, how much more can I go? Okay, I think I can do one more panel, and then I gotta take a stretch break and all that. Yeah, the first sequel, Lost World, was okay. You can kind of tell that, there was a little bit of production trouble there, mainly in the fact that, like, the whole bit where the T-Rex gets transported to, like, San Diego and kind of runs amok. I'm like, this isn't really something you would stick in at, like, the end of a movie. This should kind of be its own separate movie. Like, we didn't really have time to introduce this idea and do much with it. And, yeah, it's, like, that was a fumble right there. Like, but we really, really want to have the T-Rex drinking out of the swimming pool. But yeah, I barely remember what happened in Lost World, the book. Very different. I feel like they talk more about this in the book and not much in the movie. The whole lysine contingency, where like if the dinosaurs are not fed a certain like enzyme or vitamin or whatever, they'll just like die. They like mentioned that comes up and then didn't do much with it. Maybe they did and I forgot. Yeah, some people can, do their content creation and slip between that and VTubing. Like I know Nick Nocturne does a lot of VTubing now. I think so does Linkara. Like, wait, they're accusing him of using AI? Like, his voice has always had that distinct kind of, like, very even... I don't want to say robotic, but he's always had a very distinct voice. Oh, was he? Is he was a different one now? I know that Nick Nocturne is in, like, along with, like, the horror-based content. I think he's in a lot of furry-based content. He's indie now. Good for him. Was this that V-Shoujo thing that fell apart because they, basically screwed over Iron Mouse? That's the main thing I heard about. Okay. Before I do the windows here, I need to get up and stretch. Oh, okay. Astroline. Okay. I admit I'm not very, up to date with that, but, like, I watch Frederick or Nick Nocturne for their edited content mostly, and then sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's an interesting VOD, I want to check out the VOD of, a stream they did, especially since Nick's done a lot of, horror content that he doesn't cover otherwise in VODs, and I like watching that. Yeah, that's wild. That is wild. How does that happen? I mean, I guess I know how that happens, but it still sucks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, good. It's been so long since I've read The Lost World. I don't remember much of what happens in it except for, like, a T-Rex eating a guy from under a waterfall, which they kind of kept in the movie, but not really the way it was in the book. It's been a long time since I've read it. I was a kid. I am currently reading or listening to the audiobook for Watership Down, since I haven't read that. I'm like, I think I want some xenofiction right now. I should check out this, and it's been good. Extremely British. I don't know. I think he was just trying to be vigilant about it because, like, especially if you're not familiar with Frederick's previous work and how his voice actually sounds, then you might make that accusation of, this is an AI voice, even though his voice just sounds like that. And it's been that way for a long time. He's always had that very even voice, where he's, like, very clearly enunciating words and all that stuff. Certain tone to it, which I like. Just... AI ruins everything. Now people who just, like, are trying to do regular art have to fight against that. It's so annoying. Because, yeah, he's been doing those videos for a very long time. Yeah, his voice has always sounded like that. Well before there was any of this AI nonsense. Ugh. Come on, wrist. Be nice to me. Be nice to me. Yeah, I need to see his new video. I had to make sure I watched Lindsay Ellis's new video after making sure I was in the proper headspace for it, because that was a pretty heavy one. Good, just very heavy. But yeah, bunch of stuff in my to-watch list to catch up on. Again, mostly because I was watching a Psyculturist videos. Oh, Oh, he's married? That makes sense. Huh. And where the infant T-Rex are in the book. That was a good scene. That was a cool, scary scene of them with the baby T-Rex and then the trailers getting pushed over the cliff. It was scary. It was spoopy. Yeah, her stuff's still very good. I subscribe to Nebula, so I keep up with some other folks there that may not be on YouTube as often. Again, it's a good one. It's just very, very heavy, so make sure you're in the right headspace for it. It's not a light topic. A lot of these YouTuber folks be getting married, which makes sense. You know, gotta do it if you're into that. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and all that. Return. Oh, hello, thank you for coming. I'm back from my stretch. Let's draw more backgrounds. I sure hope nothing happens to this nice house. Actually, I kind of wonder if I can't, Oop, not like that. Can I copy paste this stuff over? Will that work? Let's give it a shot. The power of copy paste. That's what happens with adaptations. I don't think insurance existed back then. When did they invent home insurance? Also, the problem is also I don't think home insurance covers, you know, like destruction by otherworldly giant monster. Even though it should. What do you mean our house isn't covered by damage caused by the horrors? What do you mean the horrors is too broad? The first person to ever commit insurance fraud. I don't know who that is. Except for maybe Yoshi. No, that's tax fraud. Never mind. And maybe Wario. I don't know if that's really his style. Then again, I don't know if I really know Wario's style. I'm not much of a Wario head. my Wario knowledge is not very strong. Waluigi then. Tax fraud predates written history? Yeah, that seems likely. That seems very likely. Let's see. Aha! We have copy pasted you. Oh! The power of copy pasta. I know, I'm not doing any of those things. None of them at all. Okay. Like bone tax. The next day someone dodged the tax. They did not pay their bones. They needed child sacrifice insurance to recoup their losses on the children they sent to the dark world. Mayor's like, no take backsies. Tori and Oscar are like, but what if take backsies? I'm gonna make a list of all the comics I gotta tackle in the near future. Sorry, Eldritch Abominations are a separate policy and not covered by general demon insurance. I'm sorry. We should have read the fine print. It's like, Chris, you should have read the fine print too. You're gonna regret it. Chris like, surely me not reading the fine print of this demon contract will not have repercussions in the future. Surely. He's a demon, but he hasn't done anything that you know of. Hooray! Glad you got that refurbished. If demon, then why so sweet and charming? Exactly. Or else he's like, do you not think I'm nice enough? Haven't I been super helpful, like reviving you from the dead constantly? Ralsei certainly thinks they've been good to Chris. I still don't trust you, Necromancer Fire Demon. Ralsei is just sad. Frowny face. Ralsei's like, you trust the giant people-eating monsters over me? Necromancing fire demon? Sad face. He's a sweetie pea in every universe. It's true. Well, it is true. If Ralsei was not able to revive them, then they would be dead super fast. Be like, story over. You lost. You lost. That is on them. Chris is like, nah, I don't need manuals. I toss away your manual. Oops, maybe should not have done that. I'm excited to finally get the Garrison comic out, though. Eventually, I'm close to finishing it. I'm in like that stage of like having to do like the little the little bitty additions in like shading and special effects and stuff like that. You need to speak Esperanto. Man, I feel like I remember Esperanto being a much bigger deal when I was younger. They're like, everybody's gonna be using this, and then like people didn't. What happened to it? An attempt was made, at least. Because Chris refused to read the manual, they got one of their worst deaths right off the bat. Ugh. You should have read the manual. Okay. Get rid of these lines. Still not actually sure, thinking about it, what would be like their worst death, at least on screen. Well, Ralsei already knows the manual. He's the one who made it, after all. I wish we could actually see it, since it's only can see it through hacking now. Oh, the mantle manual. Chris, no, we can't go to the Northern Isles. Don't do it. What is going on with John Mantle anyway? What is your deal, sir? What is your deal? I wonder if we'll see that guy show up again. Just lick every button like Lancer. True. Just break all your controllers and eventually a father figure will give you a new one. Gasp! The mystery solved. It was old man Deltarune the whole time. My Deltarune. How did you get caught by the mystery gang? I do find it kind of funny that, like, Chapter 2 establishes that, oh, Darkners that are outside their normal, you know, world, they'll turn to stone before long because they can't interact with it. But then Lancer's like, nah, I'll stick around long enough for plot reasons and then I'll turn to stone. It's fine. I was correct. I was correct. See? That is the one thing I will not try to predict. I will not try to predict secret bosses because I don't think the way they're set up we can possibly predict them. I guess not. I guess that would, maybe not. No, the thing with Ralph's room makes sense. I don't think I ever had any predictions about that. But that does make sense that he was hiding the fact that there's nothing in there. I'm sure John Mantle will make sense eventually. But not right now, at least. I think I'm going to throw in a... I think I need 3-point perspective here. No one can guess. Some people can get pretty close. I don't think we can predict with perfect accuracy. But I don't think it's entirely unpredictable. Let's see. I will say I don't think secret bosses are really predictable though. I think that one might be a losing battle. Do something across there too. The window's going all over the place. Ah! What are you doing? Fine, I'll just do it myself. I do find it very funny that everybody's like, well, the secret bosses will have this, this, and this pattern. And then Toby was like, there is no pattern, you fools. It's just whatever's appropriate. I am glad that we got Garrison as we did, because he kicked ass. We love you, old man. That doesn't seem right. This seems a bit more correct. Still haven't beat Garrison's fight? Oh no, it's doable. For me, the knight is still the hardest one. My main problem with Garrison, at least the last time I did, is I would get really far into the fight every single time and then lose in like the last few moves. And that was like, I have to do it again because from the beginning, because I can get really far into the fight, but the last few moves would just kick my ass. Oh my goodness, yeah, I have not done that. That I have not done. Pretty much every time I've gotten to the knight, I've had to have the Shadow Mantle. At least I finally started to get better at beating John Mantle. Because good grief, I really struggled with that the first time, and I'm like, I hope that this is the only final boss we have to deal with. No. That was not the case. Let's see here. When the mom is kissed goodnight. When your cat is slowly sighing and its fur is looking white, be sure to check your mat for mice. I love Ralse. He's like censored lyrics. Nothing bad's gonna happen, Chris. No, this is a really fun song just on its own. He is pretty good at improvising, it's true. I'm like, how'd you come up with that on the spot? Chapter 3 was so fun and happy until we got to the very end, in which case... then we got serious business. And the mom is kiss goodnight. Hey, still managed to put baseball in there too. Raise up your bat for a baseball delight. Let's see. I liked all their cute little outfits in the chapter 3 too. They actually had a lot of outfits in chapter 3 because we had, like, you know, I guess got to show off all those outfit changes. We had their cooking outfits, which were extremely cute, and their rock outfits, their western outfits, their kaiju outfits. This is just like dress up all the Lightners chapter. Lightner dress up. Their PJs. And then also their little 8-bit selves, hero selves. Antenna's TV time. So chapter 3 plot-wise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll have a gigantic cliffhanger at the end of chapter 5. We're gonna be like, no! They're a puppy! It's like Susie coming down in her little kaiju outfit. Guess who, idiots? He's like, oh, Susie, you slept through the monster movie marathon. And she's just like, huh? Oh. I'm disappointed. She likes her kaiju, and she slept right through them. I think this one's looking complicated. Yeah, I think I do want to get all the little hero figurines. I want sword and axe and scarf hero and add them. Because that's probably the closest we'll get to like figurines of the actual Lightner characters. They don't count because they're not the actual Lightner characters. Kaiju Chris in their little blue dog outfit. It would be adorable. And Rouse apparently picked Green Bunny. Yeah, little mini Chris figurine. Hope it doesn't come to life and attack you. That'd be so cute. I need all 3 of them. I wonder why Ralse's hero figure like still has the hood or the hat on. Kaiju Chris, don't roll over. Chris just rolls over all the buildings. Susie's like, hell yeah. Efficiency. Just like, I can't help it. And puppy. Whereas we had two chapters now where like stuff will be set up for Susie to just come in and start smashing it. Like in chapter 2, she sees all the vases and she's like, yeah, smash, 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 smash. Chapter 3, she sees like all the little tiny houses and she's just like, yeah, smash, 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 smash. I don't think we got one in chapter 4. It's too bad. That is true. Green triangle is strong identifier for Ralsei. Exactly. We had Chris attacking us with a hockey stick, so we can forgive the mini Chris for stabbing us. As long as that doesn't just like, you know, make us vanish and then they level up or something. Blender and microwave then flushes down the toilet. Hello, hello, thank you for coming. Oh, that's true, that's true. When Susie had to practice, you know, smaller smashing before getting to the really serious smashing. The plot smashing. She's like, I'm gonna smash these vases and then these houses and I'm gonna smash the plot itself. Take that, plot. Mini Chris stabbed us, us stabbed regular Chris. The real questions. We were controlling Mini Chris at that point, so it was all our fault. Susie, smash the plot. Oh, that scene was so cool. I'm so like irrationally annoyed now. People are like, that was church juice. I'm like, you guys, this is a deeply important scene, specifically about Susie. No, she had Kool-Aid leaking out of her hand. Sure, okay. Can we take things a little seriously, please? Like, when they're framed that way? Please? Alright, we almost got all of these. I've seen it taken seriously way too often. Now consider the fact that it could have been church juice leaking out of her. Yes, leaking out of her knuckles. Kool-Aid. Logic. That's what it is. Alright, we got that. Speaking of Susie smashing stuff, here we are on this panel. Time for some smashy smashy. Just picture a Susie smashing here. She's not on this layer, so that's why it's gone. Yeah, I'm just like, guys, it's okay for it to be blood and for that to be kind of weird and mysterious. It's okay. Just you don't have to take the mystery and make it worse. I don't know. I just really don't understand it. The game literally has a warning for mild blood. Or just blood. It's right there in the ESRB. It's blood. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming. I remember that being like a thing at the time too, of like, hey, there's blood now in the ESRB. What does that mean? Turns out it meant that. What's a yellow back of back? No, it's just an ad. Look at the ESRB meeting me. It means that there's blood. What? Yeah, Susie mentions that Chris is bleeding at the start of the chapter when she tries to heal them. And she's trying her best, and it's like really sad that Ralph says like, "Oh, get out of the way, Susie," and she's like, I'm trying to help," and I'm like, "Oh, honey." So my last time I played through chapter 4 after making sure I had all of the bleh. I can't talk. Making sure I had all the shadow crystals, I tried to use Susie for healing a bunch while I was busy embezzling the mizzles. She wanted to do it. It's like, come on, Ralsa, you should be in on this because, like, you already seem kind of nervous about Susie wanting to fight too much. This is an opportunity for her to focus on healing rather than just fighting all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I imagine she bandaged it at some point when she got back to the light world and they just did that off screen. Yeah, I guess that's true. The problem is also he's not giving her many opportunities to try and heal stuff, like when again she tries to do Jackenstein. At least he did also recognize, oh, you know, Susie, what you did worked when she did heal Jackenstein. And that's going to come into play somehow, I'm sure of it. Ugh. I gotta take another stretch break. It's my time. Yeah, that's why after the Garrison fight, when I was just running around trying to get money from Mizzles, I spent a lot of time making sure that Susie was able to heal. I focused on her mostly doing it. So I think I got down the most heals you can get with her. She just does an okay heal. I am curious to see what ability Justice Axe will have in the future. Since right now it's like, no special abilities. And I'm like, not for now? What about the future? Aw. Well, does she keep the pen that she uses to write Garrison's letter? Or is that just kind of something she finds in the desk? Is that still on her person? And if so, what would that turn into? Aside from a sword. We gotta wait and see. Wait and find out. Ooh. more stretch. I do also hope they explain some more stuff about what's the deal with magic in the light world. Whether it's just super duper gone or what, because we know they can use it in the dark world. But what is going on in the light world? Seems like it is not there. That's what the hints are to that so far, but still open questions. At the very least, doesn't seem like anybody's capable of using it in the way they do in the dark world. Not like spells and stuff like that. Come on, wrist. I will be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff. Orange juice. Oh, grief, I couldn't open that dang orange juice. Orange juice, please. Teeny little cap and it's stuck. Can't get my fingers around it. Okay. We are back with some more. Get ready for all debris all the time. I sure hope nothing bad happens to this nice little house. Ah! Well, speaking of Kool-Aid, what we need is like Susie, since she's busting through the wall, she needs to be going, oh yeah! Like the Kool-Aid man. Does Kool-Aid Man still do that in commercials? Does he still like bust through a wall and go, oh yeah? And everybody's like, wow, Kool-Aid. Is that still a thing that happens? Or do they stop doing that? Because they're like, Kool-Aid Man can't bust through a wall. Wait, did they get rid of the Kool-Aid Man? They can't get rid of the Kool-Aid Man. He's a picture of Kool-Aid that's a man. How are you going to advertise your Kool-Aid without a picture of Kool-Aid that's a man? And it goes, oh yeah. I guess it probably was like an 80s or 90s invention. We gotta make Kool-Aid hit for the kids. Because kids wouldn't possibly like a sugary drink mix otherwise. How can we possibly convince kids to drink this yummy sugary drink? It's also cheap. And then again, I remember like the Cookie Crisp mascots going through like 4 different variations in my lifetime. It's like, first it was like a cop and a robber and a dog. And then they got rid of the cop and it was just like the robber and the dog. And then it was just like just the dog. And then they just turned the dog into a wolf. Don't sell Kool-Aid in bottles or cans? That would be way worse. I think they kind of do, but I think it's mostly because the whole selling point is that it's a drink mix. It's really cheap because like it's basically powder that you buy and then you make it yourself. That is a lot easier to package than you know, a whole jug of something or a can of something. You just pour it into a cold pitcher and mix it, and there you go. Are they sold like Capri Suns? I used to have those all the time when I was younger too. No, definitely what made Capri Suns challenging was like, all right, can you punch a hole in the top of this little, you know, foil pouch without punching a hole through it? That is true. Got to be some kind of reasoning for that, because I guess people can also just buy water normally. Is it more cost efficient to just sell it with the water, or is it more cost efficient to sell them the powder and then they make it? Yeah, Capri Suns were useful to pack in lunches, because that's basically a thing that's not going to spill. Unlike if you give them a bottle of juice or something and the cap comes off and now everything's soaked, whereas the foil pouch is not going to spill until you put a hole in it. Either way, the whole reason I exist is because Susie's here going, oh yeah. It's time to draw debris. Pages of debris. Are you ready for pages of debris? I don't think Kool-Aid ever did the to-go packages because, again, usually, at least when I was growing up, the point of it was you get a little pouch that has the mix in it. You make the mix and whatever kind of a pitcher of water you want, and then you have Kool-Aid that you share. Hello, thank you for coming. So it was not so much something that was supposed to go in your lunch, it was something that you like made for like a baseball game or a kid's birthday or something that you were all supposed to share with a bunch of other kids because you made a big picture of it. Yeah, Capri Suns were definitely marketed as, put this in your child's lunch. I guess that would make sense. It's me, the sugar drink company. Put the sugar drink in your child's lunch. Do it now. Don't you want your child to have the sugar drink? I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted the sugar drink in my lunch, so I can't complain. Like, I want that fruit snack. I want the Dunkaroo. Yeah, I liked Capri Sun as a kid, too. They were yummy. At least the little kid me. We are a few steps removed from being fed like hummingbirds. Hydration plus sugar? We did it! Food problem solved. Like vitamins, minerals, nah. We just need water and sugar. Just like the insects and the hummingbirds. I've never been a big fan of like Gatorades or Powerades. I know the whole point is to be like, you know, hydrating because electrolytes or whatever. But the taste is always bleh. Electrolytes, power lights, more lights than your body has room for. Raw berry. And some new flavors like gun. Oh, I love that when I was when I was younger. That was the funniest meme in the world. How many of y'all remember Power Thirst? Please tell me I'm not the only one that remembers Power Thirst. Yay. You'll run so fast, Mother Nature will be like, slow down, and you'll be like, fuck you, and kick her in the face with your energy legs. that ad did age pretty well. Power Thirst isn't real, it's a parody. The whole point is that it makes fun of, like, you know, energy drinks and power drinks and stuff like that. It's not real. There is no real power. That's just an extremely funny parody. You'll have babies, so many babies. You'll have 400 babies, and the babies will run so fast that they'll think they'll Kenyans and get deported back to Kenya. I select Godberry, King of the Juice. I want to go rewatch Power Thirst now. That's a classic. Oh, that's a classic parody. From old YouTube days. It's extremely funny. It's the way everything is just shouted immensely at maximum volume. So please, if you can, look up Power Thirst, and then the sequel. There's like there's like 2 Power Thirst parody videos, and they're both so funny. I think we need to start circulating really old memes again like that one. Like Rickroll has stood the test of time. Mortal Peep Bite. The oldest viral video that I remember showing, I think before even YouTube existed. This was like a really old video that was just like circulating around, and I would just like show it to people because it was really funny. At least to me, it was like this 3D animation of an alien, a one-eyed alien singing "I Will Survive," and it plays it very straight up until like halfway through the chorus, a disco ball just falls on the alien and kills it. And I thought that was the funniest thing. Could you do Ramb? Oh, okay, I do gotta do. Let me go and dig that out. Also, I gotta look up what Ram looks like. I forgot. Let's see. Where is the Eldritchrune wiki? Where are you, Ram? I need to do, I do need to do, Eldritchrune Ram at some point, too. Alright, there's the guy. I gotta go dig up my, my thingy. Where is Stream Doodle page? Come to me, Stream Doodle page. There we go. Chris Love. No. Okay. Here we go. Put him over here by Ram. Also, get out of here. His little overalls. What do you mean I look like a Mario brother? Boop, boop, boop. He's just a chubby old guy. No one will shed a tear for him. Nope, that's wrong. Alright. There we go. Make him a little smaller. Put him next to John Mantle there. Okay, yay! Thank you for the request. No problem. There's our good old bud. I think it's actually the first time I've drawn Ram. I'm like, Chris, did you not have any toys growing up playing with like a British plug? But then again, like, when you're a kid, you turn weird things into toys. He's like if Sans tripped and fell in a storm drain. Oh no! A sad, pathetic little meow meow. I don't know. I don't really know what to make of, like, Ram in terms of, like, intentions. Maybe it's because, like, I was never super big into, like, be like, who's the secret boss? It's gonna be this one, this one, this one. So, like, when I saw Ram, I didn't think, oh, this is the secret boss. I'm like, huh, here's a guy. And by the end, I was like, that's a sad little guy. What happened with him? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ram brought, excuse me, Chris brought Ram home from the library. Or Chris and Asriel, but effectively then Chris. Toby, you know better. You know there's no defeating people. People will make a Tumblr sexy man out of whoever they want. Also, let's be real, Tenna was Tumblr sexy man designed, practically. You know, object head, nice red suit. People have made a lot of, like, fan boss battles for Ram. Tenna was served on a gilded platter, true. Even got his arms cut off. Ah! And then the spam Tenna was made real. Like how a lot of people are like, Spamton was probably involved in a divorce and everybody assumed it was with Jevil. No, it was with the TV! Ah, yes, old CRT television and spam email. A match made in heaven. Or hell. Chris just surrounded by divorce. Divorce on all sides. Divorce so traumatic it gave the television trauma. Chris, remember when everybody was happy? Do you remember that, Chris? You remember when everybody was happy, Chris? Whatever happened to that? Alright, have a good lunch. I'm sure it's a little of both. Like, on the one hand, I'm pretty sure the ending has been set in stone for a while and all the major plot points up to it. He described that to the team like a while ago. So I don't think any major plot points are changing. I don't think, like, bosses or anything like that are changing. So the important stuff's already said, I think. But at the same time, I'm quite certain he is aware of the fandom. He used to do fandom stuff for Homestuck in the day and Earthbound. So he is super duper aware of fandom culture. So I'm sure he's aware of, like, you know, some popular theories and the memes and stuff like that. I'm sure he's now aware of, you know, Togor and, yeah, well, he has to be because of Andrew Hussey. But, and, you know, the running over Des meme and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure he's all aware of that. Will that get mentioned in the chapter? Maybe. Wouldn't be the first time. I don't think the plot's going to change for anything that anybody guesses, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's, like, little jokes or nods here and there. Certainly, like, all the stuff in the mic room was pretty much a reference to the popular interpretations of who Mike was. Since we had a microphone guy, and then Cat Mike and Cowboy Mike, and those were all references to popular takes on the Chapter 3 secret boss, pretty much. So I don't think the plot's changing, and definitely I don't think, like, you know, stuff's gonna be pushed aside just to make a joke. But if there's, like, room for a joke and it fits, then and he thinks the joke's funny, then, you know, there's a joke. That's why I can't really buy into, no, Woody's gonna be the Chapter 5 secret boss this time, trust, guys. And I'm like, no, guys, he already made the joke about it. the joke's been done. The joke, it has been joked. And who knows, maybe we'll get other memes that come up before the new chapters, but it's probably all the harder to integrate that the further on in production they are, so especially since they've already been going pretty far in Chapter 5. I'm not sure where you would add some of the new memes, maybe somewhere. I don't know, it depends on how things go. On the one hand, like, I do kind of wish that Toby would do a thing of like, okay, and now here's confirmation for sure that Chris is non-binary kind of thing. They're just going to say it. But on the other hand, I know that's never going to happen. Because, you know, that's just not how the writing's handled. And two, there's no point in doing it because the people that aren't convinced of it now aren't going to be convinced of it even if they're given proof. It's a losing battle. So, might as well focus on other things. Okay, that'll be just smoke, so I'll do that with a different brush later. Like I said, get ready for it's debris time! I need to have Tenna reference the "It's TV time" thing in Eldritchrune, but I can't use the phrase TV because obviously TV does not exist. So I'm gonna have to find something else that fits. And preferably rhymes as well. I think I know what to do, but hopefully it doesn't sound too hokey. It's illuminated manuscript time! Good option. It's theatrical puppet show time! It's passion play time! Again? Images crudely drawn in the dirt time. No, they had more entertainment in medieval times, I'm sure. They had the theater. They had books. So that's what they do for like the caveman version. It's shadows on the wall time! Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they had elaborate firework displays. As soon as you get fireworks over from China, it's like, look at these things, they explode and they're colorful, yeah! I'd be all over that. Can't imagine their dogs were all over that, but that's universal. And now a worm from our sponsors. That was such a good joke. I still need to also figure out a Eldritchrune El Nino, La Nino. I keep mixing up. That. Yeah, that one's just the same as always. That one hasn't changed. There will always be a worm from our sponsors. Well, the other joke works too. Now a word from our sponsors. Word. Also, Rules, why were you allowed to stay around for so long without turning into stone? Apparently these guys are not allowed in computer world, but they are allowed in TV world. But it was worth it just for weird Rules thruple shenanigans. He was hot but really weird. I didn't like that guy very much. Monty Python reference? Possible. That seems like a very Monty Python style human. And now, a word from our sponsors. Word. Sir, not appearing in this film. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. Wish I could find I had like this DVD that was like really like extensive, you know, version of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and it had all this extra stuff on it. He is the Messiah. I really should try Lynx at some point. Ugh, it's gonna be a pain in the butt 'cause I'm not very good with that stuff. Ugh. Darn it, Windows. I spent most of my time around Apple products, so even now I'm not super familiar with Windows. At least not as much as I was Apple. I can do both, but Linux I'm not familiar with at all. I would have to learn. And it's hard to find the time to learn new things. You got a lot to do. Alien Kubuntu. Is that like the OS Ubuntu? Because I know we used that very briefly for one class I had, or rather, for some reason the teacher insisted that we had to, yeah. For some reason, I don't remember why this was, but one of my classes, I think it was for compositing, teacher insisted that we would not be using Windows. We had to boot stuff up in Ubuntu in order to run that program. And didn't really teach us much else about the OS, so it always felt very weird to me. I do not remember the reasoning why we had to specifically use Ubuntu for that software. I also keep being intrigued by like Raspberry Pi and Pi-hole. Apparently that really helps get rid of like ad traffic and makes your internet speeds better or something. But I do not know how I would install that either. Great on laptops because how experience works out of the box. I see. I do have a desktop. Not ever had a laptop. Oop, and once I finish this one, I need to do my stretch break. Yeah, I do get the feeling like I don't have the time, but it would be useful to learn Linux. Also, for reasons, I really should try and learn. I should try and learn Blender. I know, like, vaguely my way around it, and that, like, I can, you know, select bits and extend a cube and move the camera and stuff like that, mostly because I need to do that for work. And I also learned how to use Maya, like, ages ago. So I have, like, vague knowledge of, like, terminology and, you know, kind of how to do stuff, but because it's been, like, 20 years since I've used this stuff, I would really need to relearn it. And I'm like, I have Blender. It would be useful to know it for reasons in the future. So at some point when I'm able to, I need to sit down and try and learn Blender. Maybe I should wait until I'm closer to that point, because I'm sure it'll go through some more software upgrades before then. Alright, with that done, also I'm going to go ahead and mark these as done. With pretty color. I'm going to take a stretch break and all that. I'll do the stretch break. I feel like I did some okay modeling back when I did Maya, but I've forgotten, like, all of it. And definitely, like, texturing, not a strong suit. I always struggled with texturing. Even just, like, unwrapping UVs, I was kind of like, ooh, ooh. But I admire the people who are very, very skilled with 3D modeling. Not the easiest thing to do. Also, I guess part of the problem is that requires a lot of mouse work, and using the mouse constantly is harder on my hand than using the pen is. So I don't think I could probably, like, switch to any kind of job that was mostly mouse work unless I got a very specific kind of mouse that was, you know, not so hard on my wrist. But mouse is worse for me. The mighty trackball. That's true. I need like one of those mouses that you hold, like, sideways and has a big old trackball on it. Has its own emoji. Something basically that doesn't put pressure on my nerves. Gotta be able to hold my arm correctly. But yeah, when I was editing the Susie Theory video, even that, which was just like a few days of trying to edit, and I was all using the mouse, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it, oof, ow, ugh. Which was disappointing. But I guess that kind of makes sense that I screwed myself over with that, because back in high school, I was like, I'm going to do this 5-minute animation all by myself. I'm going to color it on the computer in Photoshop 4 using the mouse. And then my wrist started to feel bad. So yeah, I would need a very specific mouse for a lot of dedicated mouse work. That's why Noelle's scared of them. She's afraid she's gonna get repetitive stress injuries. Don't do it, Noelle. Sometime I will try and learn Blender more, maybe after all of Eldritchrune is done, which Still lots and lots and lots left to do on it, even though this is backgrounds from part 8 out of 20, so that's progress. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and stuff. Back. Let's do a little more of this debris. Sing a song every time I come back. Ooh. Reacting to the air conditioner noise all of a sudden. Oh, now it kicks in. Now it's like, oh, it's hot, by the way. Here you go. Well, thank you. That's my air conditioner impression. It's very, very good, as you can tell. Okay. Yep. I really hope I'll be able to reuse as much of this as I can. Kind of wondering if I shouldn't just, especially since I think like the last, 5 or 6 parts all kind of take place at the same location. So if I can reuse as much of that area as possible across those like 5 or 6 parts, that would be helpful. I'll have to do layouts for them all first. Oof. Oof. Definitely, though, the most time-consuming parts, I think, are just background roughs and character roughs. Those are the parts that take a while. What the? It's not what I wanted. Why are you giving me like a giant weird brush? It's not even a vector thing. I'm also not looking forward to the day when I'm going to have to replace this software. That's not going to be great, I don't think. I don't want to go to stupid subscription model since they apparently don't have the pay once model anymore. Which is extremely annoying. And I don't like that. I'm wondering how many people use like the trackball mices. Did we ever agree on what the plural is for computer mouse? Is it just computer mice? Or is it mouses? Oh Jesus, Forrest mices. Is it mice? Okay. It's just mice. Just like the aminal. Wait, where'd my thing go? Come back. Well, I'm glad that was decided on. I don't know why it feels weird to like use computer mouse plural differently from like regular mouse. Doesn't make sense. Nice. We should just use it like it is in Eldritchrune, mouse. Here's a question. If there is a German localization of Eldritchrune, would they call the mouse enemy something else? Because the MAUS mouse is just German for mouse. That's just how you spell it. And I guess that would depend on getting a dedicated localization, which right now it just seems like English and Japanese. Or what's happening with that? I don't know what that is. Russian for mouse. So is the N the same in Russian and English alphabets? I guess Syriac alphabets, which I'm not sure what the. I know the English alphabet is Latin. What's the Russian alphabet? Cyrillic. Okay, that's what it was. Thank you. I still love the fact that the German word for bat is Fluttermaus, meaning flutter mouse. Not Cyrillic? Are you sure? Okay. I thought that was it. Okay. Oh, Cyrillic. Okay. Oh, I didn't even notice it was spelled wrong. Okay, I gotcha. Not cryo. It's Cyrillic. Okay, I gotcha. Or I'll say his name, Gerald? But why? Like, we use the same alphabet. Is Asriel called something else? Because, the whole point with Ralse is that he's just an anagram of Alcia. German Ralse, duh. I'm pretty sure all the names are the same. Okay, that seems like a joke or something. Because also, German is not German in German. In German is Deutsch. Like, German is the English language for German, but the German word for German is Deutsch. Germany is Deutschland. Which is where actually the term Pennsylvania Dutch comes from, because all these German immigrants came in, and they said, "What nationality are you?" And they would say Deutsch, which is German, and they thought they were saying Dutch, so they would put them down as Dutch, even though they were German. So when they say Pennsylvanian Dutch, they mean German. It is silly. History is weird like that sometimes. I think maybe they just say German Rouse is Gerald because they want to name something Gerald because Gerald's a funny name. For some reason. It's one of those funny names. The Story of Yucatan? I do not know that one. I do know that the kangaroo story is fake. I don't know what you're saying to me. Yeah, I wonder if that one's true, because also the kangaroo one is also not true. Although I have heard that might be true with, like... good grief, what was it? It might have actually been, like, Celtic. Like, the word Avon means river. So they would, call something upon Avon in Britain, when that basically means, you know, by the river. But I might be wrong on that one, too. Language is funky. I do find it extremely funny that apparently the Maori word for dog is also dog, and like they didn't get that from English or anything. That's just also like there wasn't any convergent evolution or whatever. That just also happens to be the Maori word for dog is the same as the English word for dog. They're both called dog. That's very funny. What a coinky dink. Alright, maybe it's Maori. Again, hope I'm getting that right. What I gotta make sure I can get right is debris. Susie, you pushed over this beautiful house. This is not her beautiful house. You should have let me in for pancakes and omelets. If you don't give me pancakes and omelets, I'll push your house over. And here's another question. If we do indeed have to have Asgore's another final boss next chapter, is the final boss music going to be a variation on Asgore from Undertale, or will it be different? And if so, how? Who's gonna clean up this mess? Not me. I have to make the mess many times over. If you ever want to just totally wreck a house, become a background painter. You will have plenty of opportunities to draw things being a mess. This is actually one of the parts where Blender would actually be useful, because then I could just model the whole thing how I like it. You know, add a nice outline shader or something, and then just take a bunch of pictures of it and be done with it. But that would be faster if I was good at modeling. Plain white void for everyone! Whee! Unfortunately, I cannot be that way. I just cannot. The closest I got was Skybox, which is like, they're in the sky! Guess what? You're gonna see a lot of clouds, 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 clouds! So that made it easier, but can't do that here. Especially because for a while my job was background design, so I had to draw a whole bunch of backgrounds and stuff. Like, that was just what I did all day. Kind of got used to doing that. I don't really enjoy it necessarily, but it's the kind of thing where, like, if I don't put in the effort to, like, actually make a background, feels bad, man. I'm like, no, you gotta set the scene! You're not gonna understand what's going on if there's no scene! Oh, really? Clouds at least are... You can get, kind of fluffy and creative and just kind of do whatever you like with those. Or at least in my sense for Skybox, I made like a bank of clouds. Like, I just, painted like 4 or 5 pages of different clouds. Small ones, big ones, puffy ones, wispy ones, shady ones, whatever. I painted all these different clouds, and then when I was doing Skybox, I would just have the empty sky, and then to help place them in the sky, I would just drop clouds in. Just pick a bunch of different clouds and just drop them in, and that went a lot faster. At the very least, then, you got plenty of, examples and stuff you can draw from real life. Look up some beautiful sky pictures. And be like, what's going on with the lighting here and the shading? Which part of the clouds are shaded and which are not? Is this a big fluffy cloud? Is this a thin wispy cloud? Is the cloud big and poofy? Is it flat? Lenticular? Probably one thing I struggle with the most is anything with like vehicles, cars or boats or bicycles or anything of that nature. I pretty much, if that's the case, I'm like, do I have to draw a car here? Well, I'm going to find a car that is, you know, the same kind of car and just trace it. Because cars are one of those things where, like, everybody kind of knows what they look like and they know if they look wrong. So unless you're already designing a specific car for your story, might as well reuse what's already there. Vehicles and weapons, not my strong suit. I'll do them. Mostly because I have to do them in some capacity for my job. Usually a lot of vehicles and weapons involved. But also in that case, usually they're already designed. So I'm just like, alright, just copy the design. Like, I can copy a design that's already been done. It's coming up with a design for a car or weapon where I'm like, or a boat or anything like that. Truck, any of that nonsense. And when am I supposed to take my stretch break? I already forgot. I think it's like 10 minutes or so. I still got time. Yep, clouds are unique. They're also a thing of like, they're not very lined well. Like, you know, basic objects like, you know, fields and trees, you can do that with line work. Whereas clouds always they don't really have hard edges. It's kind of what defines them, is the lack of hard edges. So just drawing them with line work always looks a little awkward. They always work a little better if you kind of paint them so that their edges are not hard. They have soft edges. Sometimes clouds have hard edges, but not very often. There's always at least some aspect of like wispiness, softness to them in some form. If you think about it, clouds are wild. Like across the entire planet, there's just like big clumps of water floating through the air. And then sometimes they just get too much water and they dump it back down. Like, water cycle's crazy. Of course, that's how life works, but it's also like, dang, isn't it a good thing that, like, you know, we get floating water that floats around the air all over the world, and then it's like, well, I have too much water now. Thank you for being able to float water. You make life on Earth possible. Water is best. Yeah, usually easiest things to draw for backgrounds is rocks. Rocks, you can kind of do whatever and they still work. New Zealand rocks. Wow, hometown's on fire. This is gonna be the opposite of whatever the roaring is in canon, where everything's probably gonna get drowned in water or ink. Here, everything's on fire. The roof is on fire. Trying to get a little something going here. There used to be a floor here, not so much now. Okay. And you put down all these lines, then immediately have to get rid of them. That's just how it be. Welcome back. Guess what we're doing? Throwing debris! Debris! But hey, I think I'll be able to finish at least 3 pages worth of backgrounds today, and that's nothing to sneeze at. I think this is an 8-page long part, so it's doable. We might work more on this also next weekend if I don't have anything else that I would rather be showing off, which could happen. Okay, cool. What's going on here? Wait, did I put this in twice? What happened? What? What? There. There. That's 1. That's 2. Oh, good grief! I just drew it on. I put it on the wrong thing. I was like, huh? What happened? This is what happened. I went too far. Actually, let's copy this layer first, then we'll copy the next layer. Push you up. Sheesh, didn't even realize I was doing that. I was like, wait, how did this happen? That would be Susie. Susie did it. She's coming to meet the parents. Oh, sheesh, I just realized what I did. I drew this too large. Okay. Yes, it was the Suze. The Suez Canal. Not really. Okay. That'll work well enough. Okay, so apparently I just accidentally drew this on the wrong page. I should have realized. Okay, I should do it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're correct. Whew. And actually, on that note, I probably should take my stretch break now. Well, this will be our last stretch break, and we'll do one more session. Time to stretch. Hey, 3 pages done. Let me get through a little bit of this one. I need more remixes of From Now On too, because it's so good. I really like it. Whew. Right, and then after this stretch, we'll do one more session. Let's see how far we get. We're gonna have plenty of backgrounds to do. So definitely the one part I love Rude Buster. I didn't think anything could replace Rude Buster in my eyes, but now we have From Now On, and I'm like, I like this one a lot. I think I like it more than Rude Buster. It was really good. It seemed to fit really well in with the church theme, so I hope it fits in well with, like, Another Dark World as well. It was just a really, really good song. I mean, of course it is, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I guess there has been a decent amount of remixes out, but probably not as many as Rude Buster, just because Rude Buster has been around for longer. It gives people more time to do it. Yeah, I was not expecting a battle music change there, and I was like, ooh, I like this. It did probably fit the enemies a little bit better, since all the enemies from Chapter 4 are a bit less whimsical and more wistful. A little bit creepy. But in a good kind of way. Right, I'll be right back for one more stretch and all that. turn. So 30 seconds just listening to from now on. Poor Gwei was like, are we gonna fight or what? Alright, let's do one more session and then we'll be done. And then I'm sure next time on Dragon Art Z there will be even more. Let's make sure we're using the right layer. Even more debris. Because again, we've got like 3 parts that take place in just this one area. So we'll be seeing a bit of this. There's like conversation that's gotta happen, so we gotta do it. Hope people are willing to wait as long as it's going to take to get all the ending stuff done. It's so long. Ooh, final boss. Who do you think the final boss of Deltarune will be? Like just the last boss that we fight. Or have an encounter with. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Ooh, my water. Ooh. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a night rematch in our future. I'm pretty sure that's certain. But do you think that will be the final battle? I imagine it will be one of our last battles, for sure. But will it be the last one? It very well could be. Well, good grief, I can only imagine how hard that's going to be. You know, if there is a rematch where it's a required battle that we have to win, then it's going to have to be made a little easier than our first battle. It's going to have to be beatable by regular folks. I.e. me. Yeah, I can see it as the penultimate one. And now I don't even know about the Titans, because we already fought the Titan. Yeah, I can see Susie as a final boss for the Weird Root. I can also see the Weird Root ending in Chapter 6. A little earlier than normal. That would be a really sad boss battle though. That's why I can't play the Weird Root. That would be sad. That'd be a sad cookie. I can't help but not like the fact that Susie is suspiciously left out of much of what's actually going on in the weird route. I'm like, that's gonna be a problem later. I can tell. A whole weird part when you're walking to the church and she's like, hey, what were you and Noelle talking about? And there's nothing. And it just kind of cuts out. Very creepy. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm the same way. Or Flowey's like, you're just watching it, are you? I'm like, yep. Somebody else can do it. I will watch what happens with that, and it won't be me. That's not how I want to enjoy the videos game. Also, Flower, you're what, like 10? Come on. Well, I guess he is correct. He's like, you sickos that watch. That's me. Yeah, some people just like to see the different things. Some people like a challenge. Some people really want to kill Birdley. I'm interested in how Psycholturus will handle that whole section, because apparently they did make sure he left a save right when you get Noelle before, you know, at the point where you're supposed to diverge into the weird route. I don't know if that'll happen before or after all the other chapters are handled. Yeah. Again, as Queen said, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just annoying. I guess for some people, the worst possible thing you can be is annoying. Like, I can deal with irredeemable evil, but annoying? Ugh. Probably because Birdley is way too similar, I'm sure, to people we've all had to deal with in real life, where it's like, ugh, this guy? I just kind of wish he had learned a little bit more from his Chapter 2 Dark World adventure. I'm like, dude, why are you still treating Noelle like this? You need to do better, dude. Please. So, like, Susie's grabbing a punch. He's not going to you at the festival, dumbass. I do wonder if Curdley is an option for the festival later and how Chris would feel about that. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's gonna do. We're gonna have a lot of opportunities for crazy things to happen there, I'm sure. Yep, we did have new chapters, and it's like, Birdley. Birdley. Birdley's like, why do you ship me with this guy? Even though Chris clearly does like messing with Birdley. Reasons I like Curdley. Funny. You know what? Valid. That is reason enough. Sometimes you just want ship that is funny. You are the wind beneath my wings. As an act of charity, I will go with you to the festival. You all fall like dominoes, which means, Chris, you're next. Is that what that means, Birdly? Okay. You will all fall for my wiles. I do kind of worry about the fact that, like, Birdly, like, where's your family? Why is nobody paying attention to you? Like, it's clear that, like, the reason that he is acting out the way he does is because people are just like, whatever, Birdly, we don't care about you, including his own family. I'm like, why was Chris the one to bring Birdly to the hospital? Was nobody else, wondering what happened to this kid? Put all of them into the pear wiggler. Yes. Bad and naughty Lightner teenagers get put in the pear wiggler to atone for their sins. Whee! I have no clue why that stupid pear wiggler gif makes me laugh every time. Yeah, somebody please teach this bird child about, like, proper relationships. Parents, where are you? And whatever, he'll be home someday. Oh, I'm sure people have put them in Sims 4 as well. I am sure whatever can be done in the shipping sense has been done. There is no new shipping under the sun. I really gotta start that Suzelle animatic at some point. Get the script down for that and start some layouts and all that stuff. Maybe we'll work on that on stream at some point. That would be an easy thing to do on a stream. At least once I get to the cleanup stage. Play still solution with television, or at least video games or something. Like, basically, I think the whole reason why he's obnoxious, especially about, like, people like, oh, they romantically love me, is because, like, he doesn't think anybody would like him or pay attention to them if they were not romantically into him. So it's like, oh, somebody is paying attention to me, that must mean they're madly in love with me. And I'm like, one, no, that's not true, dude, and two, that's kind of sad. Yeah, Susie, what's going on with your parents? Why have you given us zero info on that? We're halfway through and we know a ton about, you know, the Dreamers and the holidays. Zilch about Susie's. What's going on? We don't even know if she's living with her parents. We have no clue who she's living with right now. It's gotta be somebody. I don't think she's living by herself. But then that's the case. Who's taking care of her? In this case, failing to take care of her because they're clearly not feeding her. Aww. I do want an Arrow Ace character. That would be really nice. It's so hard to find Arrow Ace characters in media. Mostly because it's, like, really hard to prove a negative. So, while I feel a little weird about Birdly being Ace Rep, it would still be nice to have. Or Chris being Arrow Ace. That'd be neat. I'd like that. Yeah, that's why I'm like, Susie's like, I hate it when people don't tell you the whole deal. I'm like, Susie, is there some part of the deal that you're keeping from us? Because I think there is. I think you have also not told us the whole deal. I think you are doing do as I say, not as I do at this point in time. What is your whole deal? I mean, she's definitely going to be mad when she finds out whatever Chris and Rousey are keeping from her, but also, Susie, you are too. All of you, you're all keeping secrets. The deal, the whole deal, and nothing but the deal. True. You can't handle the deal. They are definitely keeping things from us. That is true. The player is not in. Like, I still think it's extremely funny. Oh, alright, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream. If you can't find Arrow-Ace characters in media, you can always make your own. Or Stormbot's fine. Thank you so much for coming. I'm probably going to stop in about 15 minutes as well anyway. Appreciate you being here. Okay. Meanwhile, stuff's on fire! I could see an Arrow-Ace Bergley or Chris. Chris would be cool. Also, I think it'd be really funny if Azzy was Arrow-Ace in some way, considering all the ladies are all over him. But on the other hand, he was obviously doing something with Des. I feel like that's pretty clear at this point. I don't know. It seems I would be shocked if there had not been something going on between Des and Asriel. Some kind of deal. Some kind of thing. What that is, I do not know, but it was something. I saw a survey going around recently of like, what are your headcanons for what Des was like? So maybe I should give that a peek sometimes. I've been getting a lot of questions like, what do you think Des was like? And I'm like, not sure. Yeah, he's got his clothes and his retainer in Des's room. Well, the thing is, he didn't necessarily go to church by choice when he smooched Caddy. Toriel made him go. Basically, he is a crybaby of a bit. Or at least he's really sensitive. I think it's interesting that, you know, from the Ribic dialogue, you have a lost and lost and lost girl, and then a crying and crying and crying boy. Like, that feels like... it's some kind of indication of Des and Asriel. That Des was lost and Asriel was crying and crying about it. Which especially makes sense if they were a couple of some kind. And then there's the line, you have already taken enough, which, If Chris feels responsible for what happened to Des in some way, and if Des and Asriel were dating in some capacity, that would explain Chris's very complicated feelings around Asriel. Perfect kid gets all the attention while they do not. At the same time, they feel like, you know, they have ruined something for Asriel if they feel responsible. What Asriel was crying about was he was crying to Alvin about, I dropped the lizard into the pit, but he was probably doing this as a little kid, not like as a teenager. But I think the idea there is that, yeah, he does confess about the lizard to Alvin, even though they don't believe in sin. Yeah, I'm not sure. It could have been any and all of them. It could have been all four of them. It could have just been Des and Chris. Not sure. But yeah, no. As a kid, he's like, I dropped the lizard into the pit, so he cried about that. I think the point of that is to show Asriel has always been very sensitive. And anxious for Chris. Yeah, that you can never wash it all away. That something going on where, again, regardless of whether they were actively a part of it or not, they could have done something on their own actively, or they could have done something passively, or they could have failed to do something. They could have failed to act. It could have been any of those, but I think there is a very strong indication that Chris feels responsible for what happened to Des. That's part of the promise they made. They have to make it up to people. Because they're like, oh, I have ruined the lives of, these people I care about, I live with, because of whatever I did. I kind of feel like there's an element of they also feel responsible for this because of their humanity. They seem to not only, dislike being a human, but, don't even like thinking about other humans. I feel like there's at least some part of whatever they did is tied into what they feel like is a failing for being what they are. And now we know the hand washing stuff has been an issue for a while, since apparently mentioned hand washing marathons from Rudy. Yeah, I know this was an ask recently about, okay, how old were Chris and Azzy and everybody when Des disappeared? Which is kind of a hard thing to work out, because Toby doesn't really like pinning down timelines. That's not very high priority for him. That is left vague. Yeah, how old was Chris when they were adopted? No. Yeah. What is it that happened? Chris clearly is still not over it, but I really do worry that whatever Carol is doing is kind of a form of blackmail against Chris, of basically playing into the fact that they feel responsible for whatever happened to Des, and it's like, well, here's how you can make it up to me. Here's how you can fix what you screwed up, Chris. I worry that there is some strong element of that going on there. Which would be pretty bad. I know, what is the friggin' deal? Tell me the whole deal. Tell me it. Tell me. I want all of your kids' deals on my desk by this afternoon. I mean, I like the fact that she's really villainous here. It makes her very interesting. I'm sure she's also got her sympathetic reasons for doing what she's doing. That's I'm not doing this. I'm just doing this because I'm evil. That's obviously not what's going on. But still, I like the fact that she is deeply scary and intimidating, and might be worse even than we think. At least in regards to how she's treating Susie and Chris. And really Noelle, too. Like, no, you should not be afraid of your own parent, basically. No, Noelle should not be afraid of her mom. Yeah, it is a bit of an irony. I definitely do not think that she is physically abusive to Noelle. I don't think that's the case at all. We don't have any evidence of that. But she doesn't need to be in order to be, like, you know, deeply intimidating and not good at parenting stuff. Yeah, great character, bad person. That I think I can agree on that much at least. I think she has probably pretty good reasons for doing what she's trying to do, but at the same time, what she's trying to do is bad for everyone all around. And the way she is treating Chris and Susie and Noelle, bad. Heck, what she's doing with Asgore doesn't seem very good. That's why I'm like, Asgore, why are you defending her? Aside from the fact that she clearly believes Asgore when he's like, something, you know, happened regarding Dark Worlds or whatever. Yeah, I don't think she's physically abusive to Noelle. We just don't have evidence of that. And that doesn't seem like the kind of person she is. Again, she's like bronzing the snowflake. She's very set on preserving, you know, a past that doesn't exist. Yeah, driven by grief and desperation. Yep, I'm sorry, just in time for the tail end. I'm going to be stopping in like just a few minutes. We're stopping and talking about what is Carol's deal? What is everybody's deal? People have deals and they won't tell us what they are. Well, I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Yeah, I'm going to stop after I finish this one panel. Gotta take care of my wrist and get a lunch. No, Asgore! What is Asgore's deal, for that matter? Again, I do not like the fact that, like, Carol was just really awful to Susie. Just, like, blatantly awful to her. And kicked her out of her house. And then Asgore's response is, oh, she's not that bad. I'm like, sir, what are you talking about? Because Susie's first interaction with her was that nightmare show. Like, these are kids. Please stick up for them. Please be there for your child. Yeah, I'm sure he's doing some kind of helping with the conspiracy. He's got the conspiracy boards that Chris don't like. Chris, like, screw your conspiracy boards. All those mics. The newest mic. Like, was the conspiracy board all along? I think there might be a beach episode. I don't think we'll have time for that. Maybe we'll have a little... I guess they kind of had that a little bit in Chapter 3, Dark World. We went to the beach vacation. Maybe she'll soften up. We'll see. I think it might depend a lot on what happens, if we get Des back or not. But I get the feeling it'll get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. If we have time, I don't really know, because we got a Dark World to do, we got festival to do, which probably will also have a dark world. We've got still a bunch of characters we need to tackle. Like Azrael, Papyrus, and Sands. When is all that stuff coming in? More Susie rapping. Rapping dinosaur. Oh no, she's the Dave Strider of the group. Oh no! Okay. Susie makes a mixtape and it sucks. She just makes the worst, most dog shit mixtape for Noelle, and Noelle's like, I'll treasure this forever. Thank you, Susie. Then again, they probably both have terrible taste. I mean, she's got that lesbian flirting down of, so do you want to watch AVGN together, Susie? Susie's like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, that was so cute. Then ICE chases him around. Chris has the option to change the main battle theme to Susie's mixtape. Do it, Chris. Keep us in a special place forever and never listen to it. Tails like, I don't want that non-Christmas music on in this house. Hell yeah! Best ending. Let's do her poorly drawn storyboards. Yeah! It's fine that she can't spell. We believe in her powers. Alright. Unfortunately, my powers are waning. Suddenly switches to RPG Maker. That would be really funny. Genre switch, go! We got through 4 pages of backgrounds out of 4 here, so pretty good. Pretty solid. Even if it's all debris all the time. But yay! Yay! We're getting through those slowly but sure. But yeah. I am done for now. And I should hopefully have the next Eldritchrune comic up this week. The Garrison one, because I'm almost done with it. That'll be up, hooray! Maybe I'll do another art stream if I have something appropriate to work on. It might be more of this for all I know. But otherwise there will definitely be a Mother 3 stream on Friday, and then more of this next Sunday if I don't do it before then. Yay, progress and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for coming and chatting with me while I draw debris forever. And now I need to go eat lunch forever. Doing crimes and going to jail forever. It sucks. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all being here. I hope the rest of your weekend goes very well. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Alrighty, I will see you later.